Hey everyone, Adam with Dry Media here, and in today's video we're going to be making one of these awesome DIY two-handled gimbal mods. Motorized gimbals essentially revolutionized the lower budget freelance filmmaking and video production industries when they came out and allowed almost all of us the affordable ability to capture silky, smooth camera movements. But one of the problems that we run into, particularly with the cheaper or more inexpensive single-handed smaller gimbals, is that we only have one touch point when we're using that, and that is the single handle. Now, by giving ourselves two touch points with the two-handed mod we're going to do today, this gets rid of a lot of that shakiness and can help give us a little bit more stability when we're using our gimbals. So this little mod slash build that we're going to be doing is based around two of these DIY wooden hand grips and some other SmallRig equipment. All of this stuff cost me less than $100 total. Now we'll have a link on how to make your own wooden hand grips down below, but honestly, if you've got some other hand grips laying around or like a store-bought one like you can see I've got here, you could probably use those. The only thing that you're gonna wanna make sure that it can do is accept or be modified into a rosette mount adapter. You'll also notice I'm using my Zhiyun Crane M for this. You could use any other gimbal though, provided you can find an adapter like this for your specific gimbal. Parts you're gonna need. One of these SmallRig rod clamp mounting adapters. I like this one because it's got all of these other mounting points for additional equipment if you want. Two of these SmallRig bolt-on rosette mounts, whatever hand grips you want, and then obviously you'll need a gimbal too. To start, you'll want to grab a tiny screwdriver and remove the little itty-bitty screws from the rosettes in each of your bolt-on adapters. We'll need these off to secure it to our clamp mount. Grab your bolts and secure the adapter to one of the sides of the clamp mount. Make sure the bolts are pretty tight because we're not going to be able to access these after we put this together. Now repeat on the opposite side with your other bolt-on adapter. Fumble with your itty-bitty screws for a little bit, and once you've got one, attach the rosettes back to each of the adapter faces. Grab your gimbal, slide the rod clamp mounting adapter up the handle, and then tighten the bolts down. You want to make sure this is squared off so our handles will be on either side of the gimbal and not at some wonky angle. You'll also want to make sure this is on a reinforced section and not at a weak point or over somewhere that's going to damage your gimbal. Then grab your handles and attach one to each of the rosettes, making sure they're facing in the right direction. Now you can put your camera on, start your gimbal up, and test it out. Let's talk about a couple of concerns real quick. Now, all of these things together makes this single-handed, inexpensive gimbal not exactly the cheapest thing out there. And I totally get that. This is one of those things, though, that if you want to improve the production capabilities and stability of one of your gimbals, this is a good way to do it. Now, one of the other things, this adds a substantial amount of size and heft to a small streamlined gimbal that you probably got not only for the price, but because of its size and form factor. Now that's totally fine. For me, when I go out on a freelance shoot, I usually have my wooden hand grips with me on my handheld rig, so this doesn't add a ton of extra weight that I have to carry around. However, if you're doing some run and gun documentary style work or a travel video, you might want to weigh the pros and cons of including this in your kit for that project. The added weight might not be worth it, but again, that's up to you. So there you have it, folks. You should have your very own two-handed gimbal mod for your single-handed gimbal. If you've got any questions or comments about this build or this video, please leave those in the comment section below. If you like this video and or want more content just like this, there's a subscribe and a like button down below as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we will see you next time.